John Farrell, a cancer survivor, talking about the work being done today. No one knows that better than this man joining us now. It's like old times. Larry Lucchino back on the pregame show.
Thank you, Tom. Nice to be here.
The seat is always open for you, by the way.
Thank you. That was very touching.
It was.
Not just what the manager said, but also what Wake and Lions had to say in conversing with you earlier. I was very moved.
Well, you brought up a good point, too. In addition to the great work being done and the money being raised, these 2 days, people will talk about things that maybe they don't talk a lot about, things that are uncomfortable, family issues, personal issues. You know, it's kind of a bearing of the soul here over 48 hours.
When I hear people talking about cancer as freely and as comfortably as they do now, unlike when I was younger, it gives me a sense of encouragement about the demise of this disease. Ultimately, we're not hiding from it. We're fighting it. We're going toe to toe with it, and dealing with it. And I'm really proud of that. Really proud about the sense of community that comes together here too in Boston and New England on these 2 days. It's a special feeling. I've become a New England chauvinist in the last 15 years, and I really especially appreciate the sense of community, the pulling together that everyone does. Boston Strong was not just a one-year slogan.
People from around the world come to Dana-Farber to get care. Sometimes we might take for granted that we have this in our backyard. You came from away to originally get your care there, so you have certainly seen it as a patient and then as a president of the Red Sox, the money being raised. But talk about your early experience and how that's been important to you to stay part of this fight over the years.
Well, the man who got me into sports was named Edward Bennett Williams, a wonderful trial lawyer, great sportsman, owned the Redskins and the Orioles at different times in his life. And among the lessons he taught me was that if you get sick in Washington, D.C., there's really only one place to go, the airport. And so consequently, I flew from down there up to Dana-Farber. It was one of the best decisions I could have possibly made under the circumstances. And I ran into an entire institution full of empathetic, compassionate people who were aggressive and at the cutting edge of their industry and of their forms of treatment and of their research. And so my respect for Dana-Farber and the Jimmy Fund come the old-fashioned way. I mean, I was a successful consumer, if you will, who went through the experience, and I saw what it was like, and I know what a difference it made in my life.
Non-Hodgkin's lymphoma was your original diagnosis in your battle. I was in there briefly as a patient last year. What amazes me is even last year they were talking about the cross-referencing project, the Lazarus effect, literally, that it will have maybe because this was responding to this a certain way that might affect that nobody was cross-referencing before. Like you said, they're passionate and aggressive, and there really is a spirit there that, you know, you're on the 10-yard line here. Let's keep pushing. We might be able to get this done.
There is a spirit in Boston about the Red Sox that we are lucky to have this kind of special franchise with extraordinary history and this extraordinary ballpark behind us. But there's the same feeling over at the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute and the Jimmy Fund Clinic, that there is something special about their history, about the people that they bring in, about the way they treat patients, and they're proud of that, and they worked tirelessly at maintaining that. And it's an incredible community asset for all of us.
You've been around this game a long time. Is there any other relationship like this, the one between the Jimmy Fund and the Red Sox?
Well, I will tell you that no one less than Commissioner Seelig, former Commissioner Seelig, whom I was talking to today, because he has a special spot in his heart for the Jimmy Fund. And he and I talked today, and he's making a $10,000 donation to the Jimmy Fund. He asked me to register that with the Jimmy Fund people. And he said as long as he's been in sports, he's never seen a connection as special, as productive, as important as the Jimmy Fund, Dana-Farber, Red Sox connections. And I agree with that. And our players get it. A player comes into town, it doesn't take him long to get involved in it. He knows it's part and parcel of the Red Sox experience. And we have some great players who have been leaders. I think at some point we should do a Jimmy Fund all-star team. find a 9 or 10 Red Sox players over time.
I like
who,
that.
I mean, certainly Ted Williams would be a part of it. I suppose Mo Vaughn would be a part of it. I think Wakefield might have a
I
chance
think
to
Wake
make
would
this
be
stage
right there. Jim
all-star
Rice
game.
spent a lot of
Jim
time
Rice,
working
and
with
that
him
would
down
be
the hall.
interesting, but we got to go
I
back
like that.
far enough.
I like
yeah,
that. There you go. We got a
should do it.
year before the next telethon to do that. Larry,
Right.
it is great having you back
Thank you,
here.
Tom.
Again, I remember a year ago hearing the news that you were going to be taking over, and I thought you were the perfect man for it then, because you've seen it from all sides. As
Thank
a
you.
patient, as the head of the Red Sox, and now leading this charge.
It's a
So
labor of love.
keep up the
Thank
good
you.
work the next
All
couple
right.
of days. Larry Lucchino with us here on Yawkey Way.